Hi, my name is Brandon Macklin. I chose to do my project on motivation, and in the movie I chose to do my project on and chose out of all movie was Rocky 3, one of my favorites. I'll start off by giving you a brief summary of the movie in case you are unfamiliar with the Rocky films. Rocky, a boxer, he's at a complacent state in his life. He feels as though he's defeated any worthy opponents. He's defended his title numerous times, and he's accumulated a lot of success and wealth and fame during the process. However, one day he encounters Clubber Lang, a vicious young fighter, determined and aggressively. He insults Rocky and challenges him to a fight. He feels as though Rocky is not a true champion because he's been avoiding him. Rocky, eager to prove him wrong, he agrees to fight him and is ready to prove him wrong. However, later that day, Mickey explains to Rocky that over the years he has been handpicking his fights in order to ensure success and decrease likelihood of injury to Rocky. Rocky, shocked at this, it creates self-doubt in his mind as he feels his whole reign as heavyweight champion of the world is called into question, and it creates a cloud above his head, a dark cloud above his head. Rocky, however, wants to prove to himself and to Mickey that he is a worthy challenger, and he convinces Mickey to train him. However, the circumstances are not ideal as they once was. Rocky doesn't have the same hunger and desire and passion as he once did to acclaim the status that he did. Rocky trains in luxury facilities and in front of the public, and it creates there was a recipe for disaster, as in the first fight he loses badly to Clubber Lang. And to make matters worse, after the fight, Mickey dies in his arms. Rocky feels as though Mickey's death was his fault, and he just lost the heavyweight title of the world. So he goes into a deep depression. He doesn't know what to do or where to turn. He feels as though he lost everything. However, Apollo Creed, one of Rocky's old rivals, he was there watching the fight, and he wants Rocky to defeat Mr. Lang because he believes as though if Rocky was determined and had the same passion that he had when he fought him in previous years, that he would definitely be able to regain the title. So he convinces Rocky to let him train him. He flies Rocky to Los Angeles, where he tries to put Rocky into a training program. Rocky initially does not do so well at all. He's very emotionally distressed, so his training habits are not up to par. However, after a altercation with his wife verbally, he is motivated and determined, and he has a drive to win. And he returns to the training regimen that Apollo Creed had for him with determination and ambition. He's motivated, and doing so, he sees maximum success, and he feels confident. He feels confident as well that he can beat a Clubber Lang in a rematch. So, doing so, they end up having a rematch, and Rocky wins. He was a totally different fighter. He was more agile and faster, and he astonished the crowd, and he caught Mr. Lang off guard. So let's talk a bit about motivation and what it has to do with the movie and so forth. Motivation is the direction and intensity of effort. At first, Rocky was unsure, so the direction of his effort was spewed in the beginning. However, during the second fight, after regaining his confidence, his direction was he approached the fight with a different mentality, and he had a higher intensity, much more than in the first bout. Let's talk a little bit about building motivation. There are 5 guidelines to building motivation. Some things like guideline 1, both situations and traits motivate people. People have multiple motives for involvement. Understand why people participate in physical activity. Some of the motives for motivation in general, not so much towards the movie. People participate for more than one reason. People may have competing motives or for involvement. People have both shared and unique motives, and motives change over time. And motives also differ across cultures. Some of the motives, major motives, are improving skills, having fun, being with friends, experiencing thrills, achieving success, and developing fitness. Guideline 3, which states change the environment to enhance motivation, is one that stood out to me, particularly because it relates to the movie very well, in my opinion. Because Apollo Creed, he took Rocky from his initial environment and placed him into another one. And I believe the environment, it does something to you psychologically. He took him from a stressful environment where he was going through a lot into a new environment. It was more lively. With the beach, they did some training things along the beach on the West Coast, and I think that did a lot for him as far as building motivation, a change of scenery, and also Rocky had to adjust to different individuals. He was around predominantly African American people, and he had to adapt to their boxing style, and it benefited him a lot in the long run as he fought Clubber Lang. Let me see. Guideline 4: leaders influence motivation directly and indirectly. Guideline 5: use behavior modification to change undesired participant motives. Let's see. Key variable achievement. One of the things I want to point out is achievement, motivation, and competitiveness. Achievement motivation is a person's orientation to strive for task success, persist in the face of failure, and experience pride in accomplishments. Rocky's orientation at first, he was very task oriented. Prior to the Clubber Lang fight, he was, as in previous Rocky movies, he was very determined. He was the underdog, and he was intrinsically motivated. However, once he gained a lot of extrinsic rewards, he felt as though he kind of lost sight of of his intrinsic motivation. This caused for him to lose track, and in turn, he encountered some failures and mishaps. Another thing I want to point out, it goes along the lines of the achievement goal theory. When it comes to that, outcome goal orientation, comparing performance with and defeating others. Task mastery goal, improving relative to one's own past its performances. Rocky had previously he lost the first bout with Mr. Lang, so he has improved his performance relative to his past performance. And last thing, is what achievement motivation says about low achievers. And this involves Mickey, in my opinion. Mickey avoided challenges to seek out Mickey avoided challenges and sought out easier opponents and avoided tough competitors. This is not good for psychological. It's not good psychologically for the athlete at all. And Rocky, it created self-doubt in the end. If Mickey should have never avoided certain challenges and made Rocky take the easy way out, even though it did ensure success and decrease likelihood of injury, it could psychologically it was not appropriate in my opinion at all. But those are some of the things I felt were important as regarding motivation in Rocky 3. If you haven't seen it, you should go out and see it. Thanks.